Hello friends and followers. Well, this is a continuing series of videos on installing the 8032 finals in the Drake T4X transmitter. So I did finally put the cover on here and it looks like there's no short circuits and it will work as intended with those little nibs on the top, providing about 1 to 2 millimeters of clearance. Anyway, I figured there's no sense in neutralizing the radio unless I have the cover on, so the cover's back on. And I've been trying to neutralize 15 meters here. In the meantime, I can get almost 100 watts on 15 meters, which might be good enough for me anyway. I don't know if I want to hack this thing and hack it and hack it and hack it since it's working and I haven't blown it up yet. Sometimes it's time to call it good and stop and just smell the roses and drink the coffee. So maybe that's what we're gonna do here. I still gotta fix the front panel, get it tightened back on, and I broke this little window, so I wanna make a new window for it, and a sliding window, I broke it, stepped on it, so I could put the old one back in, but I'm thinking about making a new one and I want to get the radio really finished. So at least it transmits now. So that's the important thing. It's a transmitter. It's supposed to transmit, so it transmits anyway. So here's 15 meters. I can't get the thing neutralized perfectly, but let's give it a shot here. Okay, give it some drive. And if you watch the plate meter now, it's flaky. Well, not that flaky. So I'm dipping it and I'm getting about 40 watts out or something. Not so bad. So I'm getting about, what, 40 watts out? Yeah. And that's taken, whoa, now it just hiked up to, it just hiked up to 100 watts. Did I bump this? I don't know. That's weird. Anyway, that looks symmetrical now. And now it's pushing out 60 watts. Let's crank it a bit. Okay. Dip it. There's about 90 watts. Give it some more load here. Let it cool down. I should put a fan up here really or something to cool this thing off. Okay, there's 90 watts. So maybe on 15 I'm only gonna get 90 watts out. Watts. Let's give it a little more drive, a little more load here. Let's see if we can get 100 watts on this turkey. It's still acting a little funky here. It's probably got spurs in it. Take the load down. Let's dip it again. It's really a sharp little dipper. Take it up. Anyway, it's gonna put out 90 watts probably. Unless I fix whatever's wrong with it, re-neutralize it or something. Get a little more drive there. I really want to get 100 watts out of this thing on 15. Well, there's almost 100 right there. It's almost like the controls are bad, like they're dirty or something, and its controls are arcing. I don't know. Anyway, that's 90 watts on 15. 95 watts. Let's try 10 meters again and see what that's doing now with the covers on here. There's 10, there's 10. Let's see what she'll do. Whoa, a lot of drive. A lot more drive on 10 than 15. Which is weird, right? Okay, let's dip this baby. On 10, there's a sharp, real sharp dip. It looks sort of neutralized, I guess. There's power coming out. Yeah, it's it's power on a dip, so it's correct. So 10 is working better. Oh, wait a minute, crap. So I gotta go to direct for 10. There we go. Gonna blow this thing up yet, huh? All right, let's try it again on 10 and go for a dip. It's still somewhat symmetrical. That's about 40 watts. Cool it down and we'll go for more power here. Give it some more drive, give it a little more load. See what she'll do on 10. I think I was getting 90 watts before on 10. Without the cover on. Now the cover's on. Let's see what it does. Oh, there's 60 watts maybe. Let's see. A little more drive. Okay, less load, coupling, yeah. That's about 90 watts almost. Let her cool down. Yeah, so I think 90 watts on 10 meters has been maintained even with the cover on, so that's about it. I don't think I'm gonna muck around with this thing anymore. I'm not gonna change any screen voltage or, I guess I could muck with a bias a bit because it's easy, but let's see what she'll do now. I'm getting control fatigue here. Well, that's about 85 watts. No, going the wrong way. So probably on 10, that's 90 watts, and that's enough for me. And on the plate, we're doing about 250 milliamperes. That's probably reasonable. All right, so that settles up 15 and 10. We're getting about, what is it, 95 watts or 90 watts on 10? Maybe 90 watts on 10, maybe about 85 on 15 or something. Let's go to 20 now, which was troublesome, and see what it will do. Okay, I'm on direct on my antenna, which I guess I'll leave it there because I'm being lazy. And let's take this drive down, take the loading down a little bit, and see what she'll do. Peak it up, drive, take the drive down, peak this guy up. There, it's peaked. A little bit of power on the output meter. Let's do a dip on it. There's our dip right there. So just that little dip there, what are we getting? On 20, we're getting roughly 60 watts. Let's increase our drive a little bit. Let's increase the load here, or decrease it. Clunk. Is that helping or hurting it? It's not doing anything really. Okay, so let's give it some more power and more drive, let it cool down a bit. And we'll pop it again. I would like to get 100 watts on 20 meters. I would like to get a lot more power in 20 if I could. But we may not get it, right? Without me screwing around with the Pi network. Well, there's 100 watts right there, kaboom. 100 watts coming out of it. Oh, that's nice. It did give me 100 watts. Let's give it a little more drive. 105 watts. A little more load there. 105 watts. $105 watts. That's probably fine for 20, I suppose. A little more drive. 105 watts. A little more drive. Okay, so that's all we're gonna get. 105 watts, I guess. On 20, which is probably okay. Yeah. Maybe it's 110 now. That's enough. don't want to burn up my new tubes because this values in those tubes, the screen voltage might be off. The bias could be off by a bit. Anyway, here's 20 meters. About 115 watts. That's good for now. Let's go to 40 meters, which is an important band for me. And take the drive down, go to 40 meters. Do I want to muck around with the antenna tuner on 40? I probably should. Okay, muck around with the antenna tuner, take it to 40. Now we're on 40 here. Do a set. Take this down, go to 40. Tune up the radio. Okay, there's some drive right there. Too much drive. There's a little bit right there. All right, and we're already spitting out some power here on 40. Don't ask me how. Oh, because I'm on the tune set position on the SWR. All right, there is the SWR set. Let's do a read. Let's quickly tune out the SWR in this puppy. That's pretty low. That's lower. That's lower. That's lower. All right, that's all we're gonna care for. Turn it off. Go to 200 watt scale. Now we're gonna give this guy some attention and see what she'll do on 40 meters. Give it some dip. Come on, baby, dip. So that little dip there is giving us 42 watts or something. Let's see what she'll do on 40. It looks linear, like it doesn't need neutralized. Let's take the load down. Yeah, I didn't like that load so high. Load down. Oh yeah, it's going up. So about 60 watts, 150 mils. Let's crank this guy. Well, let's give it a little tweak here. There, that's all we got. Okay, a little more drive. 200 mils of drive. Whoa, that gave us 100 watts right away. Kaboom. Right out of the gate, 100 watts. Whoa, there's 110. A little more load. A little more drive. Now that's 110 watts. Not too shabby. Here's about 120. This thing might go up to 150 on 40 meters if you tune it really carefully. When you have the thing toward max output, you gotta just make very small tuning increments, I've learned. Oh yeah, that's getting up there. That's almost 150. Let's give it a touch more drive. It might break 150 now. Close. Probably not gonna get 150 out of it, but might get damn close. All right, well, it's enough of torturing the radio. It does 140 watts right now on 40 meters, which is probably fine. So that's that. Here's 40 meters. $130, 140 watts, around there. I was getting 200 watts out of this puppy on 80 meters. I'm not sure how I pulled that off, but guess I could try that. There's 80. I want to go to 80 here. Go to set position and just give us a slight little bit of carrier here. Just a tiny bit. There's our peak. It's peaking up real nice. And, whoa, take this power down. A little more power. A little more power. Trying to do a set here. All right, well, that's close enough. Let's do a read. Let's take the power on 80 meters. Let's get the SWR tuned out on 80. Tune it out, tune it out, tune it out, tune it out. 1.5, we're going down lower. There, that's pretty darn good. All right, we're tuned out. Now I can run this thing on 200 watt scale, 80 meters, and see what happens. Okay, we're on 80. Tune this guy up, looks good. About 10 watts coming out, do a dip on it. There's our dip. Let's give it some load, let it rest a minute. It's not producing much heat, which is good. Okay, let's give it some more snooch here. A little more power, and wow, that's 150 watts out of the barrel there. 150 watts right out of the barrel. A little more load, a little less load. Do the plate thing here. Okay, I'm getting 150 watts. A little more drive. Yeah, it's giving me 150. Here got 80 meters. Whoa, there's about 150 on solid. A little more load. When you're cranking this thing at 300 mils, I like to give it a rest. Melting my tubes down. I did order a spare set, so in case I melt these down. Well, that's a solid 150 watts. That's even higher. Whoa, that's getting around 200. Right about there. That's 200 watts, dang it all. Yep. So this pup will put out 200 watts dependably on 80 meters. 300 mils. Bang. So I'm a happy elf. So 300 mils times what? 700 volts, 750.3 times 7, 21, 210 watts input or something. Pretty cool. 0.3 mils, 0.3 amps, 300 mils, 200 watts on 80 meters. And as they say in Hollywood, that is a wrap. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.